Hey, what's up guys, it's Wes. I'm sorry I didn't get to upload last week, but I'll compensate by making 2 videos this week. And in the last video, I promised to show you guys a cool floor lighting system that you could use the button on off switch little trick to make. And so I'm going to show you guys that in this video. And so to demonstrate how it works, it's just getting dark here, so I'll hit the lights. And there you go. So it actually interchanges the grass and glowstone blocks using 3 pistons each, a series of like 2x3 we have here, but you can make it as big as you want. And so I'm going to go down to below where this is and show you guys the circuit right now. Alright, so here we are in the little area below where I just was, and I know that this looks like kind of overwhelming, but it's because this house is an enormous mess. But it's also because it's a little bit complicated. But really what it is it's a series of these little piston mechanisms right here. You can kind of notice, like, here's one right here, and then here another two, another one right here. So it's easy to break down, but basically the way that it works, and I moved the button right here so it's a little easier to see. But here's the on-off switch that I showed you guys how to make last week. If you're unfamiliar with that, you can watch the last video. I'll put the link in the description. And then it splits right here. On the right side, there's a double piston extender. I'm not going to make a video on those. They're pretty easy to understand, and there's a million explanations on YouTube. And then a signal inverter. And so each of these kind of corresponds to one of the pistons on the side. So the double piston extender, let's see, goes to the left side up this little ramp, and then that controls the left piston. And the signal inverter goes under this little bridge and then controls the right piston. And so basically the way that this works is that when I hit the button, everything turns off and then turns back on and moves the pistons. So it's a little bit laggy here and it's a little hard to see, so I'm going to switch over to single player mode so I can show you a bit more clearly. Alright, so here we are in single player mode so I can show you the system a little bit more clearly. Here we've got the on-off switch. So when I turn this button on, the pistons will switch places and turn this signal on permanently or off. And the next thing we've got is the double piston extender. So the way you set this up is you put 2 pistons facing each other. They're both stickies, and then they face a block. And in order, you've got a row of 3 repeaters. 2 of them are delayed to full, 1 of them is delayed to 1 tick. Then to the next piston, you've got 3 repeaters all delayed as much as possible, and then just 1 line of redstone. So the way that this works is that when I turn on the circuit, get out of here. When I turn on the circuit, this piston is going to extend first because it's got a low delay. This circuit's going to constantly be on, so in an instant, this piston is going to push this piston, which is going to turn that one on and push this block over this redstone torch, which will allow that signal to pass through and hit this circuit. This circuit actually has nothing to do with these repeaters, because since they're repeaters, they kind of protect the signal. It only allows it to pass in that direction. So this wire, even though it's connected to this repeater, actually is connected to this torch right here. So obviously when we hit this button on, the piston extends twice and covers that redstone torch, which turns this signal on. Now on the right over here, or on the left, sorry, we've got this signal inverter that passes through 2 repeaters delayed to full. And part of the reason that there are repeaters is to delay the signal a bit, to time the pistons so they work properly, and also to protect the signal so that these 2 lines don't interact. And so this is going to pass over that signal so they don't touch and interact with the left side of the mechanism, so that this one, when turned on, will push the dirt block into the centerpiece, and then this piston will be pushed up. So like I said earlier, when I hit the button, everything is going to turn off for an instant. And so that means that first this piston will go down because it has the shortest delay. Then this piston will turn off and pull the glowstone to the right. So the dirt will be here and the glowstone will be here, and all the pistons will be off. Then when turned back on, whatever was on will become off, and whatever was off will become on, except for the center piston, which will just turn on after everything happens. So if I turn this off, or if I hit the button again, the glowstone will go down, pull back, and then the dirt will push in, and then that piston will push up, and there will be a dirt, and basically these 2 things will change places. And so the center mechanism here is basically just the switch, or the signal from the double piston extender heads up a dirt block and then into a repeater. So this turns on this piston, and then it also goes into the center here and then hits 2 repeaters that aren't none of these repeaters are delayed at all. They're on the first tick, which hits this piston and turns that on, and then the signal that passes from the signal inverter goes up over this bridge, and then let's see, 4 blocks I think from the original wire. It goes down, and then it does the same thing mirrored. So it takes a right through this repeater, and then passes to the center piston, and then also goes up, passes through this repeater to this piston right here. And part of the reason that we use repeaters here again is so that it protects the signals from each other. So the reason that this wire, for example, is not interacting with this circuit is because these are repeaters. You couldn't do that with just redstone. So again, like I said, I'm going to turn this, or I'm going to hit this button again. Everything's going to turn off, and then everything's going to switch. So you'll see it over there. So as you can see, for an instant, see there, everything's off, and then on again. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you learned something, and I'll see you all in the next video.